Hi, so this morning we're down here at Emirates Leisure Group with a third part of our sort of trials. We run a regular emission trial on a range of vehicles that we're running. So these vehicles are running on diesel. They're Mitsubishi Fuso trucks, between 4.9 tonne and 10 tonne trucks. There's a big focus amongst the ELR group around emissions and trying to reduce their carbon footprint, but also reduce their emissions overall. Zaeto D-Zel Aid is a very concentrated dosing additive. It just goes into the fuel tank, so there's no retrofitting, no mechanical parts needed, no retuning parted. It is literally like sort of splash and go. You fill up your diesel truck with a set amount of fuel. Let's say you've got a 100 litre tank, you're filling up with 50 litres. You add in 25 mils. So as long as the dosage rate is 0.5 mils per litre, then you're off and running. So we're down here today with a 4.9 tonne truck, Mitsubishi Fuso truck. This bottle does about 350 litres of fuel and it's about 170 mils. So we've already filled up 50 litres of fuel, and what we're now doing is adding in the D-Zel Aid. So 50 litres of fuel equates to 25 mils of D-Zel Aid. So as we pour it in, there's 25 mils. So we just put it straight into the tank. There's two parts to the test. There's an idle test and then there's a load test. Trucks will start off on an idle test where they're seeing the emissions run through, and then what they'll do is they'll come up to load. So it's a 60% load test, and the RPM will sit around 3000 RPM for a period, and then the accelerator will be, pressure will be taken off the accelerator, and then it'll be idle again, and then that's the end of the test. The focus around emissions is ongoing, especially for Emirates Leisure Group. So what we've seen so far over the last couple of emission trials is between the baseline vehicle, which are just running on regular diesel, there's been no change. There's been no change to the engine, no change to the drivers. And then we've got the Zaeto additive, the D-Zel Aid in diesel, on that 0.5 mils per litre. So these are the two options, and we've been running in multiple vehicles. So comparing the range of vehicles on diesel and the range of vehicles with the additive in, we're generally seeing an improvement of anything between sort of 10 and 15% in fuel economy, and on the emissions, we're seeing around 35 to maybe 45% in their vehicles for NOx emissions. And then for CO2, we're generally seeing around 50 to 70% reduction in NOx. So the big thing on CO2 is obviously good for climate change, but on the NOx, it's actually quite critical because NOx is 300 times worse as an emission than what CO2 is. And this is why we really want to focus on NOx being measured, because NOx in sunlight actually turns into low-level ozone, which is obviously a major issue for health as well. We need to sort of, while focusing on CO2 emissions, we also need to focus on the other emissions that we can. It's like plastic, you know, we can't just focus on plastic, we need to focus on everything. So for what Zaeto can do for businesses is improve fuel efficiency, and what they can do for the community is actually reduce harmful emissions like NOx and CO2. So as we go forward, we really want to be and make Dubai at the forefront of actually making change on a wide range of emissions like PM2.5, like NOx, nitrogen dioxides, and CO2, carbon dioxide, and carbon monoxide for that fact. So these are the four major emissions that we would like to reduce for the community so that there's less impact on health and people's health.